Mwap, 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 mwap. A pre sprint, first prize. Another pre sprint, first prize. Another pre sprint, first prize. Good morning, cycling fanatics. Sunday morning, the weather is absolutely beautiful. Today we're in Zeist for another criterium, racing in the amateur class. The surroundings here are very beautiful actually. We're gonna race very close to a big castle, and it's gonna be all around surrounded by trees. Most of the track is gonna be paved, and there's a little bit of bricks. So I think it's gonna be a fast race. The lap is about a little bit less than 2 kilometers. I just got my racing number. I'm number 96. Yep, 96 either this way or this way, so I can't go wrong. It's 1 hour to the race, so I'm gonna get ready, do my warm-up, and then it's full gas. The teammates have arrived. It's still 45 minutes to the race, so I'm gonna start my warm-up pretty soon. Still need to fix that number on my back, which is very hard wearing this speed suit, but we'll get it done. We can go on the circuit, so we're gonna do the warm-up on the track. That gives us time to see how every turn is going. So we're gonna do the warm-up, then straight into the race. Alright, race footage. Gun shot goes off. This is the start of the race. I'm gonna show you the whole first lap, and as usual you can see the speed and cadence on the left bottom. Got heart rate next to it, distance of the race. The top left you can see the time into the race, and then the top right is the track layout. It was a race track of about almost 2 kilometers. Not very sharp turns, and most of the road was paved. The asphalt here is not super smooth, but at least it's better than bricks. At the bottom you can see my power output, and I think my batteries were a little bit low, so sometimes it says 0, but I was still pedaling, so sometimes it drops out a little bit. Anyway, here's the full lap. I started all the way in the back. I didn't pre-register, so that sometimes you start all the way in the back, so I wanted to move up to the front as fast as I could. So you will see me overtaking a lot of guys here in the first couple laps. The surrounding here in this area is very nice. We're riding very close to some castle, and as you can see it's all trees. So it was a warm day, but at least we were in the shade, so it was very nice racing conditions. This part here is very narrow, a little bridge, and it was over a hump, so you could really feel that you need to be solid on the bike, or you just launch yourself into the air. Right now we come up to a little bit sharper turn onto some bricks right here, and then it gets a little bit bumpy, but it was not too bad. And I'm moving up quite a lot right now, overtaking guys left and right. And you know you want to get to the front, because that's where it happens. That's where you can regulate the race. You can see what other riders are doing, and if you're all the way in the back, you have no clue of what's happening in the race. So I needed to get to the front as fast as I could, but not too fast, because you're spending a lot of energy. Overtaking all these riders is really taking a lot of energy, so you need to go up there fast, but not too fast. So right now we're approaching the final turn to the finish. It's only one little left turn here, and then we come to the finishing street. All this part of the race was very nice, smooth asphalt, very fast. So for the end sprint it would be a very nice sprint actually. And right here is start finish. That was the first lap. The next lap I see Frank. He passed me. He was starting in the back as well. The tall guy right here in front of me, and he's a very good wheel to be in, because he's very big, very tall, so I'm out of the wind when I ride in his wheel. I knew exactly where he was going. He was going to the front of the race just like I was, so I just started following him,
and I knew that we would get up there quite quick. So 1 lap later and here we are in the front. So it took us less than 3 laps and we're all the way up to the front of the race. Alright, this is 10 minutes in the race and here's my first attack. I knew that I wanted to stay in the front and I wanted to get in that breakaway, so I figured I'm not gonna wait for other guys to do it. I'm gonna do it myself and be proactive. Here again, another attack 29 minutes into the race. Following this guy, and these attacks were not sticking. There were either not enough guys coming after me, or we would just get caught up by the peloton. Another attack 35 minutes into the race. A lot of these attacks I would either solo or be with 1 or 2 other guys, and then do 1 or 2 laps solo, and then we would get caught up by the peloton again. Here's another attack 44 minutes into the race. 2 fast guys, 2 different teams, so I figured it might be a very good attack that would actually stick, but as you can see here, we got caught up again. Right there was the bell. It was a preem sprint and it was almost 50 minutes into the race. I figured if there's no attack that's gonna stick, then I would go for some preems. I can't go home empty-handed, right? So here I end up in the front. And I see a teammate and he's going pretty fast out there in the lead of the peloton, and I started chasing him, and I figured I was gonna stay behind him across the finish in 2nd place, which would get me a preem. And I was looking back, other guys started jumping and sprinting on us, so I figured if they sprint, I sprint as well. So here across the finish first, and then I had a lot of speed and I placed another attack. So attacking again, 50 minutes into the race. I'm just trying to make this breakaway. I was trying to get it stick. This time I had 2 guys with me and we did a couple laps together, but again, like the other attacks, it didn't work out. So here we get caught up by the peloton. The other guys attack again and I started following the rest again. 1 hour into the race, another bell, another preem sprint, and another time to attack. This time it was an attack on either a break or a preem, I don't know, and I don't care as long as I stay in the front. I had very good legs, I did not have cramps. I was pushing hard to try and see how the legs were, and this was 1 hour into the race. Normally I was getting cramps by this time, but not today. I was feeling pretty good. I had this guy with me on this attempt, and I know he's pretty fast. He's willing to put in a lot of work to stay in the front, so it might have been a very good try on this breakaway. And I just keep pushing. Coming through that, close to the start finish, he seems to let it go. And I figured I didn't do all this work for nothing, so I'm just gonna try and get that preem, because this was still a preem lap, remember? So here I come to that first and last straight, to the start finishing straight. I look behind me and I see all these guys pumping it and going fast, so I figured I'm gonna push a little bit harder and still make it first crossing the finish. 10 minutes later, we're almost at the end of the race, 52 kilometers in. A couple guys are in front and I had to get with them. Fast guys are out there, so I need to stick with them. Closing this gap, coming up to the start finishing straight here, and we have 3 laps to go right now. 3 laps to go. So it's actually a pretty good position to be in. We were pushing it quite hard and we started to get a gap on the rest of the riders, and it took a while for a couple other riders to join us, and then we started riding with a pack of about 10 riders in the front. All these guys are working together now to get a very high speed, about 10 riders, and then a big gap to the peloton. So I was in a good position. Coming up to start finish, we have 2 laps to go, and we're doing high speed, and we're all working hard to stay in front. 2 laps. So we all stick together that lap, and then right here we're approaching the last lap, and now it falls apart a little bit. Guy here in front of me, I think he was holding off a bit because a teammate of him is in front out there, and I see this big gap opening up, and I knew I wanted to get up there with them, so these guys are already accelerating, so that's perfect. And I just jump on his wheel, make sure I get out there in the front. This is the last lap, only 1700 meters to go right now. So all the energy that's left can be used in this last lap. After this, the race is over, so it's gonna be all out. And I join these guys right here. And there's only one guy. He's gonna go for it. He's gonna keep up the pace. I look behind me and I see Frank coming up at full speed. And I manage to jump on his wheel. And now game is on. Frank is gonna be my lead out. He's gonna push super hard like he's doing right now. And all I know that if he just keeps going like this, we're gonna win it, because there was not any rider that was gonna overtake us at this speed. And if I would get up to that finishing straight in second wheel or first wheel, pumping out a sprint, then I was able to win this race. Looking behind me, I see a big gap, so chances of winning this race are getting bigger and bigger by the second. And I scream to Frank, we've got a gap, going through this turn pretty fast. And I was anticipating on Frank to lead me out up until the next corner here. So I was ready to jump on his wheel and go full gas to close the deal, to make sure 100% that I was gonna win this race. I look back and I see the wolf pack coming. I see a lot of guys in the peloton coming up with a lot of speed, so I was not gonna take any risk, and I go on it full gas. And I knew it was only gonna be a short bit up to the finish here, so it's just pumping very hard right now, and I was gonna make sure that the gap was big enough for me to go and cross this finish line first. And right here is when I look back and I see this very big gap behind me, and I can just cruise across the finish. First time of the year, first win on the road bike. I was happy.
We hebben een geweldige winnaar, in persoon van Jasper de Sluis. Vertel. Ja, even winnen Jasper, want dit is zijn eerste overwinning. Hij is een oud mixer, maar hij heeft zich verkeerd en doet het echte wielrennen. Nou, 2 man, 2 dames. Ja, ik sta gewinnen. Om mijn foutje goed te doen. Dan krijgen we natuurlijk veel applaus, mensen.
It was a very nice race, and now it's time to pick up some prizes. I've got some preems, I've got the leader's prize, so I crossed the finish in the lead the most times of the whole peloton, and I've got the overall win, so we did pretty good today. The other boys are here waiting for the prizes. Wat heb jij gedaan? Doe goed! En floppers!
Ja, je kwam denk ik heel zachtjes over me heen.
Ja.
Nee, dat was goed, prima.
Ja.
Goeie.
Want
Tempo moest hoog.
Want ik denk, ik blijf achter je, maar als iemand anders erop voorbij gaat sprinten, dan rijd ik wel mee.
Zeker.
Ja, ik ga niet jouw premie pakken, maar die andere gasten gingen er allemaal overheen.
Ja.
Dat was busy, busy, busy. Alsjeblieft.
Heb je ook de winnaar, toch? En nog een fles wijn.
Hoppa! Nou, kunnen we mee thuiskomen? Ja, een hele grote. Dat was hem. Nou, bedankt. Mwep, 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 mwep. First prize. Preem sprint, first prize. Another preem sprint, first prize. Another preem sprint, first prize. And the overall leader prize. Seems like I can come home today. Well, today was a very nice day. The weather was perfect. I really liked the race course actually. Not too much speed bumps, high speed, nice fast tarmac turns, and there was a lot of guys from our team on the start, so that makes it a little bit better as well. And our tactics played out. I attacked a lot. If you want to see, go to the full race footage that I will post online as well, and you can see actually how much I've been riding in the front. So I guess today all this attacking got me the success and I got the win. First win of this year, first win on the road bike. I'm happy. See ya!
Ja. Ging wel lekker zeker, hè?
Ja, ging goed. Ik heb geen kramp.
Je hebt hem, hè? Hey, dik, hè?
De eerste, ja.
Je zat fris, hè?
Ja, het ging
Je
goed.
hebt de hele tijd fris gezeten.
Ik heb geen kramp. Ik kon nu gewoon tot het eind rijden.
Ja, maar tof, jongen. Maar je, weet je, en onderweg gewoon niet sparen, gewoon sprintjes pakken.
Ja.
Hey man, wat is nou? Vet hoor.
Ja, ging goed, joh.
Gefeliciteerd.
Dankjewel.
Mooi, eindelijk, daar is hij.
Eindelijk, ja.
Ha!
Hey, I won!
Mooi. Dat is net te laat. Kom.
Oh, jammer. Net te laat, 2 minuten.
En toen hoorde ik Jasper Kouwen gewonnen.
Niet waar?
Ja.
Ik hoorde je nou wel.
Dankjewel. Waar is Bodu?
Ja, in die vrachtwagen.
Ik ben er maar 31 keer langs gereden.
Ja, ja.
Heb jij gewonnen? Ja. Netjes. Goed man.
Ja.
Tof. Super man.